Снайпер! Контакт! Прикрой меня, я должен перезарядиться!
Alright, folks. 1.33 on the Russian common test with 2.5 new hidden vehicles. The half belongs to a skinned E-77 for their Martian rover or Back to Mars event with a loot box and stuff, but the main focus of this patch is the Merkava branch with the UN tech tree. So mostly Israeli vehicles that we have already covered. Now an actual branch with Cromwell and Shermans and a Centurion for that matter of fact. So pretty interesting. We'll cover this in the next episode, but this video we'll take a look at what the hell this thing is. The ULAN, ULAN. It's a Polish premium tier 9 heavy tank. It's a Polish can opener. Double shot, square turret. The ass is smaller on the back end. It's more like a Caro P88, the Italian tier 7 heavy tank, but the ass is so small compared to the actual turret at the front end, right? Compared to the FV230 can opener, but they don't have the British double barrels yet or ever, I don't know, but their progression with the tech tree is different. They just got the Polish tank destroyers for that matter of fact, so yeah, they're debuting different vehicles compared to our debuting, but the muzzle brake is also juxtaposed. It's the same size. Oh no, it's different slightly. Oh, that's cool. Usually it's different sloping on the muzzle brake for the double shot, but that's neat. So Polish can opener. It's a premium. It's a tier 9. Makes the bonds. It's a double 122. Has the traditional firing mechanism similar to the Russian double barrels. So prep time and lock time with the shots. It's not a mode like with the can opener, so no switching with lower mobility. But single track, yada yada. Crew of 5, double loader. How good is this vehicle? 2,179 DPM, which is okay for a double shot, right? 390 alpha. It looks kinda smaller barrel for a 122. That looks almost 105 or so. The calibers are getting weird. It's 8 degrees of gun depression, 2.88 seconds of aim time, 0.38 accuracy for double shotting. But prep time is 3 seconds and lock time is 2. If it's the other way around, it'll be a little bit more comfortable prepping for the double shot. But 3 seconds is alright. It's not as bad as the original 4 seconds on the SFAC 105, but I mean, usually it's about 3 or 2.5 or so. 2 is pretty good, but how good is the shell velocity with that short of a barrel on the gun? It is 122. Shell velocity is 1050 meters per second for APCR. High explosive anti-tank has faster shell velocity with more pin because obviously pay to win. Alright, high explosive, but okay, double shot is fine, I guess. It's okay. How good is the actual armor on this thing? 1,900 health. Not bad for a tier 9. It's about 2,000 on the tortoise, so decent enough of health, but actual armor, cupola, yeah, loader cupola, commander cupola about 160 to 180. Mantlet is only 230. You can technically jam a shell through the mantlet. The rest is 270. Yeah, you're not penetrating without gold shell on the rest of the turret, but it's flat. Yeah, you can jam one shell through the mantlet, through the middle. There might be shot trap between the turret and the hull roof. There's a sliver right there of only 100mm. Upper plate is 140, sloped at about 260. 160 for the bottom plate. Very good. Mostly decent. I mean, it's not auto bounce, but 220 for a bottom plate is very good. Side armor is 140. And 90 for the tracks. It's also not covered in the back end too for the weird engine deck. 140 is about the same as KV Fortress, which is very good. The downside to this vehicle is the mantlet seems pretty weak, right? I mean, it's not the weakest. You can definitely jam an AP round through the mantlet, but turret ring also might be a weak spot. Similar to the driver hatch right there. You can jam a shell through the driver hatch. Maybe shot trap. Nah, not exactly shot trap. There's no gap between the turret and the actual hull, but still. Might be unlucky enough. Side scraping is not bad. Other than this cheek right here, but side scraping is not bad. Rear end 45 for the engine deck. Yeah, it's kind of weird sloping on the rear end. So you can actually hide the large chunky ass that the can opener has and the elevated engine deck in the back end. So yeah, you have to definitely angle the front. You can actually bait the shell without exposing the drive wheel, but yeah, okay, it's a premium tank after all. Side armor's good. 60 tons, 17.5 horsepower per ton ratio with 46 kilometers per hour top speed. You're telling me this thing revs. Doesn't have the top speed of something like the IS-7, but it can rev. It can definitely rev. Let's see, the dispersion while moving is 0.16, which is not bad while traversing. They don't show you the terrain resistance, unfortunately. Oh, my mods don't work with that, I guess. Hidden parameters. You cannot tell the terrain resistance, but at least this thing could rev. So that's surprising for how bulky looking of a vehicle, right? Imagine the can opener having about 17.5 horsepower per ton ratio and 46 kilometers per hour top speed. You would go nuts. You would definitely go nuts. Camo, okay. 4.4%. It's a heavy. And view range is kind of crap. 380 meters of view range. It's a close range vehicle that surprisingly has mobility. Armor is debatable, right? There are a few pockets of weak spots, like the cupolas, like the mantlet, but if you have that horsepower per ton ratio, you can actually go fast enough to compete with actual other breakthrough heavy tanks, like a T10 or IS-8, or maybe BZ68. That's more of a assault-ish. It's okay. I mean, Polish can opener. Alright, moving on. A TBT Czech Tier 9 premium heavy tank. It's like with Wargaming. Release a bunch of premium Tier 9s now. Tier 8s are done. We're done with Tier 8 premiums. Now it's a bunch of freaking Tier 9 premiums. This one looks like an Object 907 enlarged as a heavy. Especially the hull front and the toolbox on the sides, right? Yeah, enlarged 907 chassis. Almost. That really looks like a 907 chassis. Turret is different. It's rounded. Cupola is somewhat small or non-existent. Not bad. I mean, it's more like a medium tank, large medium tank, but they classify it as a heavy. So this thing is a premium still. Makes the bonds 130mm. Ooh. I mean, accuracy aim time on paper doesn't seem that good, but crew of 4. It's not autoloader, so plays different than the Skoda T56, VZ51s, VZ58s for that matter, but 2200 DPM. It's okay. If it has the mobility, it's okay. 0.38 accuracy, 2.88 seconds of aim time, 7 degrees of gun suppression. It is 490 alpha, it is a 130, so packs a punch. Does this thing play like a 277 at tier 9? That's a question. 1,800 health, not bad. 130mm hull front, 210 turret front. It's rounded, it's sloped. It's pretty good. Other than the viewport for the gunner, that's about 240 to 210. And sometimes you can pin the coax a little bit to the side. Never mind for the actual coax. Holy crap, it's 180mm of a space armor? Before 317mm thick actual armor. Well, you could jam a shell sometimes around the gun, but that's very small chance. Yeah, shoot through the gunner scope right here, but yeah, it's unlikely. Upper plate rounded 130, pretty decent too. Bottom plate slope 130 at about 230mm effective. It's also a V-shaped hole on the side. You see that? So side scraping with 80. There are no space armor for the toolbox, but it's slope 80 downwards. So other than shooting through the tracks, it's auto bounce. Or you can shoot the actual hull front. Shoot here. Similar to the 907, funny enough, but yeah, the only weak spot is around the gun. Cupola is non-existent. There's no cupola. So shoot it through the gunner sights or around the gun, but that's a very small target to hit. If it has the mobility, it will be a tier 9 277. Not bad. 16.8 horsepower per turn ratio. Actually slower to rev than the Polish Canopener, the ULAN. Has 54 km/h top speed though. So how good is the 277? I need to make sure. Very close. Very close. 17. It's 17.8 on the IS-7, but I have the field mods. There's a special field mod for breakthrough. But default wise, without the turbo thing, it's surprisingly fast to rev. So this is like a tier 9 version of a 277. 277 doesn't have as good of a DPM without the rammer, right? But compare this to a 5A, doesn't have the DPM compared to a 5A, about 300 less or so. But this thing seems about the same ballpark. A tier 9 version of a 277. Pretty good. I mean, 277 was nerfed. Camo actually not half bad, right, for a heavy. I mean, it's granted not that great still, but not that bad compared to like 3% or 2%. And view range could be better. 370. Radio is above standard, but that doesn't matter much. Alright, this seems pretty good. I mean, Russian server has weird balancing, so that already goes out the window. But we already covered a bunch of other tier 9 Czech heavy tank, like the 𝗲𝗏 with a double shot. I think like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, but also the VZ58, old vehicle, long time ago, but Czech heavy tier 9 VZ58, the 𝗲𝗏. Yeah, we already covered this thing with the double shot. So yeah, we already covered a lot of these old vehicles. This is not. Oh yeah, they put this thing as this year's token tank in Battle Pass, as well as the Pagott, the Swedish medium tank at tier 9. We already covered that too, but it's Italian, Swedish. There we go. Pagott TK105. We already covered this. So these two are their tier 9 token tank, whereas our tier 9 token is the ERAC105 and the Object 265T. So a little bit different, obviously. We are already going our separate ways, but E77 with the skin, yay. It's not that special, but does it have the space armor compared to our version? Our version does not have space armor. You mother! These sons of bitches at Wargaming took away the space armor. 5mm space armor on the hull sides. They took that away. Bastards. Why? 5mm space armor, 40mm track, 80mm actual armor. We don't have space armor on our version of the E77 because it's German. And fuck the Germans. Always fuck the Germans. Sons of bitches. It looks like space armor. It is space armor, but no. It's 40mm track, no space armor, nothing, only 80. Yeah, no space armor. Because fuck you, you don't deserve freaking space armor. So next episode we'll cover the actual Merkava tech tree with the UN. Technically, they don't have the actual UN JPEG for the vehicles, but yeah, we'll cover the whole line. We already covered the Merkava from the last round of common tests, but that's not exactly UN flag right there. We have the Centurion at tier 9. Yeah, that's a Centurion. Has a 3.7 inch and a 105. A Vickers main battle tank with a 20 pounder, also a 105. Interesting. It's like with the Vickers Mark III main battle tank, but a modified Sherman with a 75mm M51, like a Super Sherman. Ah, no 105 though, as with the Revalorise. Unfortunate. Cromwell. It's a Cromwell. It's a copy of a Cromwell. And Sherman, a bunch of Sherman, and a Locust. And a French vehicle. Yay, Renault. Alright, so we'll cover the Israeli branch next up, but it seems like the pyrometer, the special scouting thingamajig, only available for the actual premium tank. The Merkava doesn't have it. Yeah, the Merkava doesn't have the special scouting pyrometer, they call it, but only the Romach, the M47 Romach has it. So only the premium tank gets the special feature. There's two testing versions, the Romach and the Russian version for initial testing, but both of these have the special pyrometer thing. So ignoring foliage, helping you to spot stuff like the ELC EVN90 like dramatically. So basically countering a camping ELC on Prokhorovka with this thing. Yeah, only the premium tank has it. Yeah, only the premium tank has it. So one's Russian, one's actual UN version, Israeli version. But there you go, folks. 2 new hidden vehicles on the Russian common test. We'll go through the Israeli tech tree next, but yeah, Canopener for the Polish definitely could come to our server, as with stuff like the Chog P or Panzernik. So we already covered a lot of the vehicles from the Russian server appearing on our server, like this tier 10 belonging to a tier 9 now. So stuff like the Chog P, as well as what else recently? The BZ74, we already covered that. So a lot of the vehicles could come to our server. It's not the other way around. They don't have stuff like the Conceiver or the Canopener on the Russian server. So we're basically mooching off of the Russian server. And it's not vice versa. They're not getting stuff like, where the hell's my Conceiver? Contender, whatever. So they're not getting stuff like this, whereas we are getting special stuff from the Russian server, which is hilarious. But yeah, we'll take a look at the Israeli tech tree next. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oops, almost forgot. Their battle pass style for season 16 is 80th anniversary of ending World War II. So Soviet themed, all Soviet vehicles with Soviet commanders for the crew members, but special-esque of a engraving for the 80th anniversary. But it's all black with somewhat bronze of a finish, as well as the badge and the engravings and other stuff. Engravings does absolutely nothing for the vehicle, but IS-7 as well as the object 268, not the actual heavy tank, but special engravings to mark the celebration of the 80th anniversary. But it's still a little bit better than the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collaboration thing, but it doesn't compete to our Battle Pass 16 season style. So it's okay, but it's not the greatest. It's like a 5 compared to like a 3 for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. But yeah, our season 16 style is much better, right? So this one looks more like a freaking catacomb entombed engraving on the walls or something. Ugh. But yeah, this thing doesn't really compare to our E50M. We already covered the Type 71 and the 𝗛𝗵𝗱𝗱𝗲𝗀𝗀, the NC70. So yeah, our season 16 of Battle Pass is dramatically better. I mean, no question. So yeah, okay, they already have the win, they already have the W with these styles that happen along with our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So these debut in season 13 or so. So I already covered all the styles too. But yeah, these styles are in place of our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So they don't get the collab, they get their special animations, which is a lot better. So they take the W on this one. They take the L on season 16. So yeah, okay. Compared to this, no. This one is so much better. But there you go, folks.
На границе тучи ходят хмуро, край суров.